wherever you're at. Whether you're laying down, whether you're seated, whether you're in your child's pose. Take a moment to just observe your breath as it is. No need to change. No need to critique. Just watching. And as you have your awareness on the breath, start to lengthen the breath, filling up the belly on your inhale, all the way up into the chest. And as you exhale, imagine that the parts of your body that's in contact with the mat just connects a little deeper, sinks a little deeper. You're allowing all the different parts of yourself to come into this one space, all together, one piece, mind, body. Continue those lengthened breaths. Noticing how it feels to be more conscious of the breath. Notice if there's certain areas of the body that needs more breath than others. Do you need to direct your breath anywhere in the body? Just doing 5 more rounds of this deepened breath. Might you catch your mind wandering or traveling ahead to when you finish the 5 breaths, bring it right back. So wherever parts of the breath rhythm you're in, whether it's the inhale, stay with the inhale. And exhale, stay with the exhale. Fully extending all parts of the breath, but without strain. Soften more and more with each exhale, as if you're just letting the day go, letting any tension go. Taking your time to finish your 5 rounds, but when you're done, it's returning to your natural breath rhythm. Eventually placing a hand on your belly. just notice the quality of your natural breath now after your pranayama. I'm going to open the class, you can stay as you are. I'm going to open the class with 3 arms. So if you can, just be aware of the sound. Maybe you can even feel the vibration of the sound in your belly, underneath your hand. And imagine that this invocation mantra Om has the quality to wash over you, cleanse and clear out everything that needs to go. Creating more space to open up for what's needed. And taking a deep inhale to start. And another inhale. Taking a deep inhale when you're ready. Sigh. Now if you're seated, come down onto your back as well, please. You can start to relax today as well. If you're already laying down, just bring the hands to the side. Make sure you don't have any in the way. Just going to do a little bit of core just to start off today. Oh, yeah? Have you done that already today? Yesterday. Okay. So we're going to bring the hands underneath the buttocks, palms facing down. So that's just going to give a little bit of elevation, making it a little easier. That's if you can engage the hands and the arms. Now, bring the feet together on the floor, so knees bent. Not 90 degrees. Yeah, pretty much 90 degrees knees. Knees together to get that 90 degrees. And then bring the knees slightly out. So the big toes are touching, the heels are touching. A gentle tuck of the tailbone, and then pull the belly button towards the spine. That's going to switch on your core. Engage your arms. And then on your next inhale, we're going to lift the feet towards the ceiling. Keep that diamond shape of the feet. So knees slightly out. And then exhale as we bring the feet back down to the floor. At any point you have a sore back, you can make the angle in the knees a little smaller. If not, keep it at this inhale to bring it up. And then exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Just 3 more times. Staying with your breath here. Unclench the teeth. And then once you're done, just straightening the legs along the mat, releasing the hands. And on your next inhale, reaching the arms overhead, giving yourself a nice juicy stretch, fingers towards the front door, toes towards me, pointing to opposite direction, taking another deep inhale. When you're ready, holding it, stretching even more, and when you can't hold it anymore, letting it go, relaxing the muscles. Beautiful. Bring the knees to the chest, grab hold behind the knees, and then give yourself a little bit of a spine roll. Now you can just stay on the spine, or you can come onto the buttocks. Just find your own variation of this. And eventually, just coming up to a cross-legged sit. Beautiful. Inhale, so you draw the arms to the ceiling, scooping it up. And then as you exhale, lower the right hand, lean over to the right, glue the left seat bone into the mat, open the chest and the armpit towards the ceiling. And then with your next inhale, come back to center, lower the left hand, bring the right arm up and over to the left. Glue the right seat bone this time. Just stretching right from the hip to the fingertips. And then when you're ready, inhale back. Do one more time each side. Just following your breath. So I encourage you today, I'll be demonstrating less. So it means that you have to listen more. If you want to close the eyes, sometimes it's easier to really listen to what's being said if you have your eyes closed, that's welcome. Or if you're more comfortable with the eyes open, that's okay. Once you've done one more each side, just coming back to center. Inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Beautiful. I'm going to reach the right hand out in front and then point the fingers to the floor. Now just watch the shoulders. You don't want to lift the shoulder, or just soften the shoulder down. And then we're going to point the fingers to the ceiling, push the heel away. Just a couple more times, down and up. And then this time when it's up, we're going to keep the fingers that way, but we're going to turn towards the floor and then grab hold of the fingers with your left hand and then push away, get that nice stretch. Again, soften that shoulder down. Beautiful. And then we're going to grab hold of the thumb by its own and then pull back. Beautiful. And shaking it out. Bringing the left hand out in front, softening that left shoulder, and pointing the fingers to the floor and towards the ceiling, pushing the heel away, engaging the arm, down and up. Last round. I'm going to keep the fingers that way. We're going to swivel the hand around, grab hold of the 4 left fingers with your right hand, soften the left shoulder, push away with the heel, bring the fingers back towards you, open the front lower arm. And then we're going to use the fingers to grab hold of the thumb only. Keep pushing away to pull the thumb back towards you. Just checking you're still breathing. See if you can stay connected with that long, deep yogic breath throughout the class. Now releasing, shaking it out. Coming onto all fours. Now if you want to do a few hip circles, you can. You can never go wrong with a little bit of rotation for the hips, the thighs, the pelvic floor, the lower back. And then change direction. Staying with your breath. I know that most of our lives are busy, which means a lot of the time we're used to doing things fast or efficiently. We sort of forget that sometimes we can go a bit slower. So today is an opportunity during the class to slow the breath down a little bit and allow the breath to be the anchor for your movements. Now coming back to all fours, make sure the wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now slightly pull the belly button towards the spine, so we're engaging the core. Make sure you're engaging the hands too. It's as if you're pushing the floor away. Now with your next inhale, we're going to reach the right arm forwards, left leg back. Then as you exhale, we're going to draw the knee, the elbow and the head together towards the middle, curling inch into the chest. And then inhale to reach. Exhale to curl in. We're going to do 2 more in your own breath rhythm. If you're struggling with balance, you can place the left hand a little further out to the side. Utilize again the full extension of your inhale and your exhale. And once you're done with 2, come back down. And if you need to, you can just tuck the toes, come to sit on the toes just to release your hands for a bit. But then open the toes, the feet. I know you love that one. Shake it out. Interlock the hands, eternity number. Both ways. And then coming back onto all fours. We're going to do the other side, just checking wrists on the shoulders, knees on the hips. This time as you inhale, left arm forwards, right leg back. Reaching in opposite directions before you exhale to bring the head and the elbow towards the knee. Inhale to reach, pointing the fingers and the toes in opposite directions, drawing it out before you exhale. Curl it all up. 2 more rounds in your own time. And once you're done, just coming back onto all fours. I'm going to tuck the toes again, but this time we're going to walk the hands back towards. We're going to lift the knees off the mat. Lower the heels as you lift the buttocks, drop the head. Feet hip width apart, just come into a knees bent forward fold. Just nod the head to release the neck. And shaking the head no. And if it's available to you, maybe you can start to straighten the legs. Staying with your breath. Now I want you to take 5 deep yogic breaths here, just as we did in the beginning when you were seated or laying down. So as you inhale, find the expansion from the belly all the way up into the chest. And you're probably going to feel it out the back of the torso as well, lower back. As you exhale, maybe you drop a little closer towards the floor. Breathing in space where there's resistance and tightness. Relaxing the shoulders. And then when you've done your 5, bend the knees and then very slowly start to roll up 1 vertebra at a time, starting from the tailbone, working your way up. The arms and the head is heavy. The head is the last thing to come up. Maybe you need a couple of breaths to come all the way up. Once you're up, if it's okay, close down the eyes. Allow your body to get used to being upright for a moment. So you showing up to your yoga class every Tuesday is you giving yourself a pause from the outside world, from expectations, from deadlines, from anything that's sort of taking up your time. So when you come to yoga, it's a pause where you can give all of that back to yourself. And then within the yoga class, we're applying pauses as well, allowing Well, the pause allows you to digest, to take in the previous pose, let it all settle before we move on to the next one. And gradually opening the eyes, shaking it out. And we're going to do a couple of standing sequences now. First one with balance. So find a point on the floor or the mat in front of you. That's sort of what's going to keep helping you keep balance in this sequence. Feet hip width apart. Now we're going to inhale as the arms come shoulder height and as we bend the knees. And then when you exhale, we're going to lift the heels off the floor, come onto the tippy toes. And then when you inhale again, we're going to straighten the legs, hands by the side, heels are still off the floor. And then exhale to lower the heels. So that's one round. Inhale to bring the arms up, knees bent, soften the shoulders. Exhale to lift the heels so the knees come up. You have to engage the knees, the thighs. And then inhale to come back up on the tippy toes and exhale back down. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Come onto the toes. Focus on that point on the floor. The core is engaged. Inhale to come up really nice and tall. And then exhale down. I want you to do 2 more rounds in your own breath rhythm. Find your own rhythm where you're not skipping on the breath just to get it over and done with. And see if you can soften in the face, unclench the teeth, the jaw. Not hold the balance there. You've got the core instead. Soften the lips. Doesn't matter what you look like. It's about the attention. Beautiful. And then go for a moment closing down the eyes. Just noticing the effect of that sequence. Maybe growing a little taller in the spine as you allow the shoulders to drop back if you forgot temporarily. Maybe a few deeper breaths if your breath was a little strained. And then opening the eyes, shaking it out. And come into the next sequence. Inhale, so draw the arms to the ceiling in to lock the hands. And then as you exhale, leaning over to the right. Now be aware, only the torso leaning, not the hips to the opposite side. So only the torso. So tuck the tailbone, pull the belly button towards the spine, soften that left shoulder away from the ear. Taking another deep breath here. And as you exhale, we can start pushing that hip to the left, coming into a bit of a half moon, crescent moon pose. Now when you're ready, inhale back to center. And then as you exhale, just the hands and the torso over to the left. Hips stay still, soften that right shoulder away from the ear, engage your core. And then with your next exhale, start pushing that right hip to the right, coming into your crescent moon. And then inhale back to center. Now as you exhale, we're going to swallow dive into a forward fold, bend the knees. Grab hold the opposite elbows behind the knees, and as you have the knees bent, start to pull away to get that nice stretch in the whole back of the torso, chin to the chest. And as you exhale, release the hands, Utkatasana chair pose. You bring the hands down, forwards and up, knees bent, soften the shoulders. And then palms together onto the heart, straight in the legs. Beautiful. That was one round. Inhale and interlock. Exhale to the left or the right, doesn't matter, one side. And coming back to center. And then exhale, opposite side. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. And as you exhale, swallow dive into your forward fold. Your core is nicely engaged. You can have a slight bend in the knees if you need to. Grab hold of the elbows behind the knees. Start pulling away so you get that nice stretch into the chest. And then releasing the hands. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Beautiful. So we're not arching the back, we're just having awareness of not arching, but gently tucking to switch on that core. And then exhale. Beautiful. One more round. Just finding your own breath rhythm here. When you're ready, inhale. Draw yourself a little taller. When you're ready, just exhale. Find your side stretching. And see if you can engage the parts of the body that needs to be engaged, but soften the ones that don't, like the face. And find a swallow dive, forward fold. Really pull away from the knees to get that nice back stretch, chin to the chest. And then come into your chair pose. Beautiful. And then exhale, come back upright for a moment, just closing down the eyes as you release the hands by the side. If you want, you can do a cleansing breath, deep inhale through the nose, flushing it out through the mouth. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Sounds delicious. Inhale, letting it over. Beautiful. Returning to a nostril breathing, gently opening the eyes, shaking it out. Then we're going to come to the front of the mat, setting ourselves up for our sun salutes. So when you're ready, inhale, drawing the arms to the ceiling, find extra length along the spine. And as you exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, engaging your core. Then inhale, halfway lift, engaging the legs, the core. And as you exhale, placing the hands on the mat, stepping both feet to the back, so into your plank pose. This first one, lowering the knees, finding a straight line from the hips to the shoulders. As you continue to exhale, elbows pointing to the back of your mat, going all the way down onto your belly. Before you inhale into a low cobra, so you're lifting, not pushing away from the hands, just using your body lift. Now as you exhale, tuck the toes, engage your core as you push back into your Ardha Mukha down dog. If you need to walk it out, this first one you can. Maybe it's nice to get some extra space into the hamstrings, into the calves. Maybe ultimately opening the hips. And then coming to stillness for 3 more breaths. Now make sure you engage the hands. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful focus. At the end of your next exhale, look forward between the hands. No breath as you step or walk the feet to the front of the mat. Then inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to draw yourself all the way up to standing. So if you're scooping all the goodness up. And exhale, drawing it back to the heart, palms or thumbs just brushing past the heart space. Release the hands. And inhale for round 2. Arms to the ceiling, find the length. And again, you can choose to close your eyes if you like. Exhale into your forward fold. Nicely engaging your core as you come down. Then inhale halfway. And then exhale, planting the hands, stepping the feet to the back. If you want to have your legs straight as you come down your chaturanga, you can, but just make sure the hips are not drooping, you know the drill. Elbows tucked in, either your low cobra or your up dog. And then when you're ready, exhale, push back into Ardha Mukha down dog. Now, in your up dog, if you're pushing away from the floor and the hands are straight. Make sure your thighs are off the floor. That's going to activate and engage your core. If your thighs are down, you're kind of sort of relaxing in the lower back into it, which is not ultimate. As if you can relax the head as well, softening the neck. Really relaxing the parts that don't need to be engaged in this pose. At the end of your next exhale, we'll pull it between the hands. No breath as you step or walk to the front. And then inhale halfway. Exhale forward. Inhale to scoop it all up. And exhale. Arms together in front of the heart again, brushing past the heart space, just as a reminder to keep focusing inwards, releasing the hands. Now we're going to have one more round, but before we go, just a gentle pause, just to notice the effects of the last 2 rounds. Just notice what it feels like when energy starts to shift and move in your body. What are the foremost sensations that you're feeling? And then this last round, we're going to go a little bit slower. So if you thought you were as slow as you could the last 2 rounds, it's okay if you want to go the same pace, but if you can, see if you can slow down even more. Okay, so next inhale, drawing the arms overhead, slowing it all down, lengthening, maybe a bit of a retention of the breath before you exhale into your forward fold. Retain the breaths just gently before you inhale into your halfway lift. And exhale, hands to the floor, step into your plank pose, choosing your chaturanga. Make sure your core is switched on, your legs are straight, straight line from the heels to the shoulders. Inhale, low cobra or your up dog. And exhale. Your arms come down, those rolling the shoulders away. Here. Now, we're going to have 5 breaths here altogether, so you probably had about 2 or 3. A couple more before you come into your child's pose. So when you're ready, just softening into your child's pose, either the knees together or wide apart, either the hands to the front or down by the side. In all poses, just investigate a little bit, just don't go into it automatically, but tune into how you're feeling today, because you're a different person today than when you were last on the mat. So what is it that benefits you the most today? If you want deep cleansing, inhale, flushing out the exhale. And just returning to your nostril breathing. Now we're going to do a little bit of a head massage again. So if your hands are pointing backwards, if you can bring them to the front. Now, just straighten your arms out in front, but relax the elbows so they're a bit of support, the elbows to the floor. And then head to the floor, pressure now on the forehead. And then we're going to keep the head on the floor, and as you inhale, we're going to start lifting the buttocks and then rolling the pressure from the forehead to the hairline, to the top of the head, as far back as is comfortable to get a nice stretch. And as you exhale, rolling back down to the forehead. So again, utilizing the full extension of both your inhale and your exhale here. Softening the face and clenching the teeth, relaxing most parts of the head here. Just one more time. And then come back. No need to rush through. Once you're back, just gently inhale to come back onto all fours. And then exhale back into your last down dog for the class. Find your 4 points of connection. Now if your heels are comfortably on the floor, maybe you can work on lifting the toes. No, not heels off the floor. So if your heels are comfortably on the floor in your down dog, then try to lift the toes off the mat. Yeah, beautiful. And then from here, we're going to practice to jump through to a cross-legged seat at the front. This is your favorite, right?
Film us, right?
No, I'm actually going to be watching you now. All the other times I've been doing it with you. But that means I have to really verbally say it out right as well. So with your next inhale, we're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow. Engage your core as you come slightly forwards. Lower the right foot to the left side of the mat. And then bend the right foot, push away, and then cross up your ankles as you jump forward to a seat. We obviously need to do that again. We're sitting. You're sitting. Now you're actually going to come all the way down onto your back. So just for a moment, full release into the mat, into the floor, feet apart, hands out to the side. Maybe one of those deep, juicy, cleansing breaths. Just surrender everything into the surface beneath you. This is your pause again, allowing everything to soften. Nothing needs to happen here other than you just allowing yourself to receive by doing nothing. Now from here, I'm going to bring the hands down by the side. Bend the knees. Bring the heels toward the buttocks, the feet hip width apart. Now with your next inhale, tuck the tailbone and then start lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Now see if you can come off one vertebra at a time, starting from the tailbone all the way up. And then when you're ready to exhale, trickle down one vertebra at a time, starting from the top of the spine, working your way down to the tailbone. Now double check that your knees are stuck on top of your ankles so they're not turning out. Inhale, come back up in your own time. So just going to do this a few more rounds. So just find your own rhythm here. Fully inhale all the way up. Fully exhale all the way down. Now the next time you come up, we're going to stay here. So see if you can interlock the hands underneath your buttocks. If you can stack the shoulders, elbows underneath you. And then lift the hips a little higher, push the chest a little higher, and take 2 deep breaths here. So expanding from the belly all the way into the chest on the inhale, and contracting, letting it go from the top down into the belly on the exhale. Again, just checking that the knees are stacked on top of the ankles. And once you've done your 2 rounds, releasing the hands, release the elbows, unstack the shoulders, and then trickle down 1 vertebra at a time from the top all the way down, tailbone the last thing. Now before you pull the knees to the chest, just stay here, just for a moment, allowing the spine to be neutral. Now just windscreen wipe the knees from side to side, just releasing the lower back. And then hugging the knees in when you're ready. Yeah, if you want to circle the knees a bit to massage the lower back a bit more, you can. Make sure you go both ways. Nice juicy rolls. I'm going to lower the right foot to the floor. Bring the left ankle on top of the right knee. I'm going to thread the left hand through the gap. And then start pulling that right knee towards you, simultaneously pushing the left knee away. And make sure you're breathing here. Breathing into the tight spots, breathing into the glutes perhaps, the hips. If you want to intensify, you can lift the head towards the knee. Or you can just stay as you are. And then we're going to release the hands, bring the right foot back to the floor, keep the left foot where it is. We're going to shift the buttocks towards the left side of the mat. We're going to lower the knees to the right, just coming into a laying twist. If this is sufficient for your laying twist, you can stay, or if you prefer to do it with one outstretched leg, you can do that as well. Maybe open the left arm shoulder height along the floor, just to open up shoulder, the armpit, the left side of the chest. Deep breaths. Softening the face. Letting the tension go if there's any in the jaw, around the eyes. And when you're ready, just gently inhale back to the center of the mat. And just for a moment, straighten the legs out in front. And just tune in to the left side of the body and then the right. And just notice, is there a difference there? And when you're ready, bending both knees again. Soles of hip to the floor. Then bringing the right ankle on top of the left knee this time. Putting the right hand through the gap. Interlock either behind the knee or in front of the shin. Now pulling that left knee towards you, pushing the right knee away from you. So the inhale lengthens, creates a bit of extra space. Exhale, releases. Maybe allows you to deepen the pose. So you're just doing it gradually, not fast, not by force. If you want to intensify, you can lift the head towards the knee. If you can soften the shoulders a bit, so you're not straining there. And dropping the head back down if it's up, lowering the left foot back to the floor, release the hands, keep the right ankle where it is. Then we're going to lift the buttocks towards the right side of the mat and lower the knees over to the left. Coming into that laying twist, that's a quaded twist. Breathing into the right armpit, right side of the chest. And then slowly making your way back to center. Any last moves you feel like you need to do, you can do that before you come into your Shavasana. Maybe putting an extra layer on. Maybe you want the legs up the wall. Maybe you just want the legs straight. So today is a very special festival in my yoga lineage. It's called Janmashtami. So it's the birth date of this guy called Krishna. So I'm going to do a little mantra for you guys. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, which essentially is a calling out to connect to our source. So just like an electric light is not fully utilized unless it's plugged in, it's the same with us. If we're not plugged into our source, our spiritual parts, the essence of who we are, we can't fully bring out everything, everything that we are. So whatever that means for you, however that resonates and connects. Again, imagine the mantra, the sounds as vibrations, as waves. Maybe allow that to just enter through the soles of the feet, or just through the ears, into the heart. All mantra is meant to soften our hearts. And in your own time, just taking a few deeper breaths. Some very gentle movements to the fingers, to the toes. Maybe feel like circling the wrists, circling the ankles. The legs drop the wall, maybe bringing the heels to the buttocks, knees out wide, soles to feet together. And eventually just rolling onto your right side. So your right arm as a pillow, just bring the knees into the chest, so just curling up. You're allowing your yoga class to marinate for a moment. And if it's okay, keeping the eyes closed as you make your way back up to a comfortable meditation state. We're going to finish how we started with 3 arms all together. Just notice how the mantra feels now at the end of the class. Just going to do a cleansing breath before we start. Deep inhale. Inhale to start the 3 arms. And next inhale, drawing the arms overhead, scooping up all the goodness of the past, palms together, and then just bringing it all back into the heart. Gently bowing the head comes to the third eye. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for
Thanks
singing.
everyone.
It was beautiful.
It was really nice.
It's gorgeous.
Were you singing?
Yeah.
I looked up like, is she singing? Was it recording? It was lovely. Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
Really beautiful.
That's amazing.
It's the power of mantra.
Mm.
It goes into the heart, doesn't it?